Kra Canal or Landbridge, Thailand, at the fault line of 21st century power. When geography stops being neutral, in geopolitics, geography is rarely passive. At certain moments in history, a strip of land ceases to be soil and becomes a lever, capable of redirecting trade, altering alliances, and destabilizing entire balance of power. The Isthmus of Kra in southern Thailand is one such place. Barely 44 kilometers wide at its narrowest point, this remarkable stretch of jungle and coastline sits between two oceans, two strategic worlds, two competing visions of global order. For more than 3 centuries, empires have looked at it not as Thailand's territory, but as a solution to commerce, to war, to control. Today, as the Indo Pacific replaces the Atlantic as the center of global power, the Kra question has returned with a vengeance. But the debate is no longer simply whether to dig a canal, it is whether Thailand will restructure the global system loudly or quietly. The choice between the Kra Canal and the southern land bridge is not an infrastructure decision, it is a decision about how power will flow in the 21st century and who will control the arteries. The strategic context why the Isthmus of Kra matters now. The modern world runs on choke points Hormuz, Bab el Mandeb, Suez, Panama, and above all, the Strait of Malacca. Roughly one third of all global maritime trade passes through Malacca. More importantly, between 73 and 75% of China's oil and gas imports transit this narrow corridor, along with nearly two-thirds of its seaborne trade. No other major economy is so dependent on a single, externally comfortable and controllable route. This vulnerability has a name in Beijing, the Malacca dilemma. In any high intensity conflict over Taiwan, the South China Sea, or a wider Indo-Pacific escalation, the United States and its allies possess the naval capacity to disrupt or blockade Malacca. Even the threat of disruption is enough to raise insurance costs, spook markets, and destabilize Chinese energy securities. For nearly 2 decades, China has sought escape routes, pipelines through Myanmar, railroad corridors through Laos, ports in Sri Lanka and Pakistan, Arctic shipping experiments, digital logistical alternatives, yet none offers what the Isthmus of Kra does, a direct geographic bypass between the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Thailand, whether it decides the role or not, has become the hinge. Thailand, the accidental keystone state. Thailand has long survived by mastering balance. It is the only Southeast Asian state never formally colonized by a Western power. During the Cold War, it aligned with the United States without becoming a client. In the post Cold War era, it embraced China economically while remaining strategically ambiguous. This balancing act has worked till now. As global power hardens into blocks, ambiguity becomes costly. Investors demand clarity, security partners demand predictability, infrastructure projects demand long term alignment. Thailand is no longer a simple crossroad, it is a decision point. Path 1: the Kra Canal and a geopolitical earthquake. The vision: Kra Canal would definitely cut directly through southern Thailand, connecting the Andaman Sea to the Gulf of Thailand at roughly 100 kilometers long. It would shorten Europe East Asia shipping route by up to 1,200 nautical miles, saving 4 to 6 days per voyage. Estimated Estimates place construction costs between 25 and 30 billion dollars, depending on depth, width, and lock design. Once operational, the canal would theoretically handle tens of thousands of vessels annually, including VLCC, oil tankers, and large container ships. On paper, it is transformative. In reality, it is explosive. The immediate winners: China. For Beijing, the canal is nothing less than strategic emancipation. It would reduce reliance on Malacca, shorten energy supply lines, enable dual use port infrastructure, provide indirect naval access to the Indian Ocean. The canal would not need Chinese warships to be Chinese power. Influence would flow through financing, construction, operations, and security arrangements. Thai conglomerates, major Thai business groups, many with deep ethnic Chinese roots, tend to gain monopolistic control over ports, logistics, and special economic zones. The canal would create new cities, new rents, new political leverage. The strategic losers, United States. Malacca is not merely a shipping lane, it is a lever. The Kra Canal weakens America's ability to coerce, deter, or influence China during crisis. From Washington's perspective, the canal is not commercial, it is a strategic erosion. Japan. Over 90% of Japan's energy imports transit Malacca. A canal under Chinese influence introduced dependency where none previously existed. Tokyo sees the canal not as diversion but as exposure. India. For New Delhi, the canal completes a nightmare geometry. Chinese access from South China Sea into Indian Ocean would tighten the strategic ring already formed by Gwadar, Hambantota, and Djibouti. Singapore. Singapore's relevance is its geography. Bypass that, the city's state's core advantage erodes. The canal would not only destroy Singapore but it would permanently diminish it. Thailand. Hidden risks. The canal would not physically and politically divide Thailand. Southern provinces, already home to separatist violence and religious tensions, would be isolated from the mainland. Infrastructure of such strategic importance would demand security guarantees, potentially inviting foreign involvement. Often, foreign security enters, sovereignty quietly exists. Exits. Pardon. The canal would also force Thailand to choose. Neutrality cannot survive when a country hosts one of the most consequential strategic assets on earth. The Kra Canal would make Thailand richer but narrower, louder, and more vulnerable. Path 2. The land bridge. With a power without shock. The concept. The southern land bridge proposes a different solution. Connect two deep water ports, Ranong on the Andaman Sea and Chumpon on the Gulf of Thailand, via high capacity rail, highway, and pipeline infrastructure. Cargo would be unloaded on one coast, transported overland, and reloaded on the other. No canal, no sovereign rupture, no warships transiting Thai theory. Territory. Costs are similar, around $28 billion, but the strategic signaling is radically different. Why the land bridge works? The land bridge achieves 80% of Canal's economic benefit with 20% of geopolitical backlash. For China, faster access to the Indian Ocean, secure logistics redundancy, BRI corridor continuity. For Thailand, maintain sovereignty, ASEAN cohesion preserved, Western investors reassured. For the West, no overt loss of naval leverage, no symbolic realignment, no immediate military escalation. The land bridge doesn't scream, it integrates. The quiet expansion of influence. Yet neutrality here is deceptive. Infrastructure today is not just concrete and steel, it is fiber optic cables, it is cloud platforms, it is AI managed logistics, it is surveillance and customs systems, it is digital payment lanes. Chinese firms already dominate Thailand's digital backbone. From 5G networks to cloud services to smart city surveillance, the land bridge would deepen this integration. Control doesn't require bases, it requires dependency. In a crisis, railroads often move more than containers. Data corridors move decisions. The deeper pattern, power in the age of systems. The Kra Canal belongs to the 19th century logic of power, control, space, move fleets, dominate choke points. The land bridge belongs to the 21st century logic, control system, flows, and standards. One redraws map, the other one rewrites incentives. China understands this difference immediately. The real choice of facing Thailand. Thailand is not choosing between China and the West. That choice has already been constrained by geography and economics. Thailand is choosing between overt alignment with visible consequences and silent integration with irreversible dependencies. The canal makes Thailand a battlefield of narratives. The land bridge makes Thailand a node in a network. Both reshape the region. Only one allows Thailand to pretend it remains neutral. Conclusion. When non decision becomes destiny, for 3 centuries the Kra Canal has been discussed, studied, postponed, and feared. It has never been built, not because it was impossible, because it was too revealing. Today, Thailand stands at a moment where hesitation itself carries risks. Investors, strategists, and states are repositioning. Supply chains are being redrawn. Power is consolidating. Whether through a canal or a land bridge, Thailand will no longer be invisible. The Kra Canal would announce the end of an era. The land bridge would quietly inaugurate a new one. In geopolitics, the most dangerous changes are not always the loudest, but the ones that arrive distinguished as logistics.